Happy Camper Radio starts in 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friends, and welcome back once again to Happy Camper Radio, the only place you need to be when you're ready to talk camping. Camping is what we're about. Camping is all we talk about. This is episode 111. I'm Skip. I call myself the Happy Camper. And on today's show, we are going to be talking about making pizza at camp. Who does not like pizza? The kids love it. You love it. You know you do. And I'm sure everybody in your camping party enjoys it as well. It may not be considered a traditional campground food, but you'll be surprised there are a number of ways to make pizza at camp. Why not put it on the menu this summer? We'll be talking about it on today's show. Our phone number here is 404-537-CAMP. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Camp Talker, add us to Circles on Google+, and now subscribe to our brand new YouTube channel. There's so many ways you can reach out to us. And just go to www.happycamperradio.com. That's our homepage. You'll find all of our social media icons right there. Take some time to take the studio tour and look up a lot of information that's available to you that'll make your camping trip go a whole lot smoother. Right now, I'm going to head over to the shout-out window and welcome some newcomers to the show. Starting off with Sean Stevenson from Umatilla, Florida. Stacy Hicks Raleigh from Stevens, Pennsylvania. They like us on Facebook. Jay Howes of London, England. Julie Marie of Anoka, Minnesota. They're following us on Twitter. To Andrea Nagy, D. Rickox, Renee's Hiking with Hendrix. Hendrix is her dog. Goes everywhere with her. They're from Inola, Oklahoma. Jacques Lechour of Strasbourg, France. And finally to Anna Filippa of Coahuila, Portugal. They all added us to Circles on Google+. Thank you all so very much for joining us and being a part of this great Happy Camper Radio family. You know, for the past couple weeks now, I have been talking up the Great American Campout 2015. It is just about to get underway. And folks, if you haven't already made your camping reservations, now would be a great time to do that. But before you do anything, I want you to go to the National Wildlife Federation's website, and you'll find a link to it right there on our homepage at happycamperradio.com. And I want you to take the pledge to go camping. It doesn't cost any money to take the pledge. All you've got to do is say, hey, I'm going to go camping to benefit wildlife. Here's the key. For every person who pledges to go camping between June 27th and September 7th of this year, their national sponsors are going to donate $1 for every pledge all the way up to $100,000. And all of that money is going to go to benefit wildlife. It's something that the National Wildlife Federation does each and every year. I am so happy to participate and promote it here on Happy Camper Radio. And as I have also been talking up, I am going to be camping out at Georgia's Stone Mountain Park this coming summer from July 30th through August the 2nd. It's a 3-day weekend for me, and I am really excited and pumped up and looking forward to it. Rain or shine, I have made the pledge to go camping. I have already filled out the form, and you can do the same. Take that pledge today. Pledge for wildlife. Pledge to go camping. Your family will love it. And what's so wrong with getting out and exposing your kids to nature? It's one of those natural resources that we have available to us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Take advantage of it. It's always going to be available to us. And this pledge for wildlife, I can't talk enough about it. If you would like to join me at Georgia's Stone Mountain Park, if you happen to be living in the metro Atlanta area, or in Georgia for that matter, maybe you're passing on through Georgia and you're looking for a great place to go camping that weekend, consider Georgia's Stone Mountain Park. you can visit them at www.stonemountainpark.com. Look at the website, see everything that Stone Mountain Park has to offer. Click on the campground website. You can make your reservations online. You can call it in. And again, I will be doing my radio show from the campsite that Saturday night, and hopefully have it uploaded by Sunday. And it's going to be a fun time for all. I've got some relatives coming into town, and we're going to be having a great, great time. Looking forward to it, and looking forward to seeing you at Georgia's Stone Mountain Park this summer. Okay, folks, we're going to be talking about pizza today at camp. Making pizza. Wow. Do you think it's hard to do? You'd be surprised. It really is not. And again, although it may not be a traditional camp food, everybody loves pizza in one way, shape, or form. It's loads of fun to make. And you got to keep this in mind too, folks, that not every campground is going to have a pizzeria just around the corner. All right, camping is not about takeout and delivery. You want to get to your campsite. You want to stay at your campsite. You want to bring all of your food items with you to cover for how many ever days you plan on camping. You don't want to have to be running out and buying stuff. That's not fun at all. At least I don't think so. I've never made it a point to run to the grocery store every day while I'm camping. But the neat thing about making pizza is the sky is the limit as to what you can do. You want to prepare ahead of time. And let me tell you where the preparation starts. You want to sit down with your family and decide on a pizza night sometime during your camping trip. Friday night would be a great night. I always consider Saturdays to be steak night. All right. But maybe, anytime you want to decide to make pizza while you're camping, that's cool. But here's what you need to decide. You need to decide what kind of pizza you want to make, because everybody has a different taste. And some people like cheese and pepperoni. Some like all kind of toppings on them. I myself personally am a cheese and pepperoni pizza kind of guy. I don't go for onions. I don't go for green peppers. I don't go for anchovies or olives or any of those other things that people like to throw on their pizza as toppings. For me, it's just cheese and pepperoni, and that works fine. But if you have a family that is divided, then what you may end up having to do is make individual pizzas for everybody. Because the bottom line here, folks, you want everybody to walk away stuffed. You want everybody to walk away pleased. You want to give everybody what they want. And you can do that on pizza night, whatever night that may be at your campsite. Now, here's another thing you want to consider also. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of deciding how we're going to prepare and cook this pizza at camp, let's go through the planning process a little bit. What type of crust do you want to serve at pizza night? You can buy pizza dough from your grocer's dairy section. And you can roll it out. You can custom make it. You can make it big. You can make it thin. You can make it thick, however you want to do it. I personally would rather buy this brand called Boboli. It's a pizza crust that's already made. It's already prepackaged, and you can find it in the grocery store. It's the easiest and simplest way to make pizza. Now, if you want to make your dough from scratch, you can do that also. You can bring all the ingredients and everything that you need right there to the campsite. But here's the problem. That's going to require a little more effort on your part if you are the camp chef, if you are the person making this. Now, maybe you enjoy that. Maybe you enjoy being the person who likes to get out there and be creative, and if you want to spend that kind of time in the camp kitchen, cool. That's all right. Me personally, it takes away from my relaxation. It takes away my time from the fire, from doing other things, from conversing with individuals, and maybe meeting some people in and about the campground. So, I try to make things as simple and as easy as I possibly can. So for me, I will choose the Boboli brand pizza crust, which is already prepackaged, and bring it right there to camp. Here's another thing. Let's select the toppings for your pizza. Naturally, you're going to require pizza sauce. You can buy pizza sauce already pre-made in a jar from your local grocer. You just need to make sure that you're going to bring enough of it. When you decide that you're going to make pizza, keep this in mind also. You're going to have folks inside of your household there who are not going to be settling for just one pizza. They're going to want 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. So you've got to consider how much pizza that you need to bring to prepare at the campsite to make sure everybody walks away full and walks away stuffed. Some people would like to make their homemade pizza sauce right there at their home kitchen, pre-package it, put it in the cooler, and bring it to camp. And when it comes time for pizza night, you bring out that homemade pizza sauce from home and just add it right on to your pizza crust. You can do that also. But I would like to just make it, again, as simple as I possibly can. Get the pre-made pizza sauce that's already in a jar. And rather than just bring all the ingredients to camp, just have my pizza ready to go and put it in the oven, put it on the stove, however you want to cook it. But again, that's just me. So decide for yourself what kind of pizza sauce you want to get. Do you want to buy the pre-made pizza sauce already in the jar, or do you want to make it from scratch? You can also bring all those ingredients to camp and cook it right there. There's nothing wrong with that either. Mozzarella cheese. You're definitely going to need mozzarella cheese to add to your pizza. Couple things to consider. You can buy them at the dairy section of the store already pre-packaged and pre-shredded. You've seen them before in the cheese section. Grab a couple packages of those. Determine how much pizza you're going to make and determine how much mozzarella cheese that you're going to need. Me personally, I like my mozzarella cheese fresh. And the freshest mozzarella cheese you can get is going to be right there from the deli section. Buy a block of it. Bring a shredding block from home. And just before you start preparing the pizza, shred that mozzarella cheese on a cooking block right there at your campsite. That's going to bring you the freshest tasting cheese to add to your pizza. Couple other things you might want to add. What kind of toppings do you want to add to your pizza? Pepperoni. Some people like pepperoni and cheese pizza, and that's it. Well, that's the kind of a pizza guy I am. I don't go for all the other fancy toppings, but that's, we're talking about individual pizzas. We're talking about individual tastes here. So your pepperoni, you can buy that in the store also. It's already sliced and packaged, ready to add to the pizza. Maybe you want to buy a whole pepperoni and cut it up to the desired thickness. You can do that also. Some other toppings you might want to consider here. Ground beef and Italian sausage. We've got some folks in our household that enjoy Italian sausage. I'm not crazy about it, but I'll eat it on my pizza. If you want to add ground beef and Italian sausage, a couple things. You can either prepare it at home, cook it up right there at the house, and put it on ice until you're ready to add it to your pizza, or you can cook it there at the campsite just before you begin putting your pizza together. Either way, remember this, it's raw meat and you've got to cook it very thoroughly. Here's some other toppings you may want to consider. Adding to your pizza, olives, onions, green peppers, anchovies. I could go on and on here, folks. The choice is yours. However many toppings you want to add to your pizza and however creative you want to get, you can do that at the campsite. Pizza is a specialty item. Remember this, folks, so you want to plan ahead. Make sure, most important of all, that you bring enough ingredients to make enough pizzas for everybody, because you know, and I know, folks are going to be coming back for seconds, and you don't want to disappoint anybody. Camping is about having fun. It's not about saying no if you don't have to say no, okay? I enjoy pizza at camp. I can remember, and I've got to throw this out here. Several years ago, my family came down to camp with me, and before leaving home, I asked them, I says, you thought about maybe having a pizza some night here at camp? And I was surprised to find out that our local pizzeria back home, Milano's Pizza, was still in business, and my brother had stopped there and was telling Herman Milano, terrific guy, that he was coming down to meet me to go camping. Well, Herman went ahead and put together a pizza just for me. And he remembers me as a kid, and you know, they've been in business for so long, as they're an icon in that part of town. But they put together this pizza, and they partially cooked it, and all we had to do is, when we got it to camp, is heat it up the rest of the way, and it was the best tasting pizza I could ever want to have at camp. Again, that goes kind of against what I was talking about here for the very beginning. But, you know, if you ever had pizza as a kid and you had one favorite place that you wanted to go eat each and every time, and you ended up getting away from that, and you say to yourself somewhere down the road, wow, if I could just one more time enjoy that particular style of pizza, wow, I'd do anything in the world for it. Well, that was the highlight of my whole camping trip, when I had a Milano's pizza delivered to me right there at camp. But again, folks, keep in mind, not every campground is going to have a pizzeria just around the corner. So you're not going to be sending out for pizza. You're not going to have pizza delivered to the camp. You're going to want to make it from scratch right there at your campsite. Nothing wrong with that at all. Again, it's not a traditional camp food, but who says you can't have it? All right. We're going to talk a few ways of cooking pizza, and these are some things you may want to consider. Some may require a little additional equipment to be brought into the camp. You may just get away with cooking with the materials and supplies that you have already in your camping supply box. Let's talk first of all about pizza and cooking it over an open flame. Here is the trick to cooking food over an open flame. You've got to somehow get that grate over the flame at least 8 inches high. And in order to do that, you're going to have to find a way to maybe put blocks on either side of the campfire and laying your grate somehow between those two blocks. You can even haul in a tripod with a hanging rack on them and position the grate right over the fire. Here's the key, folks. You're going to need to coat and spray that grill with cooking spray before you place it over top of the fire. Very, very important. Once you get that in place, once your cooking grate is in place over top of that open flame, you can lay out your pizza dough directly on top of it. And you're going to want to flip that pizza dough at least a couple times until it's brown on each side, being very careful not to burn the pizza crust. Once you flip it a couple times, you want to flip it one more and then add your toppings on top of it and cook it to the desired temperatures. Here's some things that you can, some tips that you can consider in order to help that process along. Your pizza sauce, you may want to consider heating that up in a saucepan before you do anything. And this way you have hot pizza sauce to put on top of your pizza dough, and then just add your mozzarella cheese and any other toppings you so desire, and just cook that to perfection. Once you get it off that rack, then hey, it's ready to serve. Again, you may have to cook 3, 4, or 5 different pizzas depending upon how many people are in your camping party and depending upon the type of appetites you have there too. Here's another option. Let's talk about cooking pizza in a pan. I've done this before. Not one of my favorite methods, but it works. You want to choose, first of all, a pizza pan that is big enough to hold the pizza crust that is going to fit in it. In other words, you're probably going to need a fairly decent-sized pan, or if you're going to be cooking smaller pizzas, and if you have a smaller pan, you can use those as well. You want to coat the bottom of that pan with cooking spray, butter, or maybe even a little bit of olive oil. Bottom line again, you don't want your crust to burn. Here's what you do. Go ahead and get that on the stove, put your pizza crust on the inside, and make sure you flip it a couple times until it is brown. You don't want to overcook it. You don't want to burn it. Once that is done, you're going to add your sauce and your toppings and put the lid back on it and cook it until the cheese is melted. Once that is done, you've got a piping hot pizza ready to serve right there at your campsite. So there's another method you may consider. Again, keep in mind how many people you have in your camping party, how many different pizzas you're going to have to make. You may have to have an assembly line there. You may have to roll out about 5 or 6 different pizzas. You may have individuals who want different toppings on this pizza and individuals who don't want anything on theirs. So you want to cook the pizza as best you possibly can. You want to make everything perfect. You want to make everybody as happy as you possibly can. Pizza night is a great night for smiles, a lot of happy faces, and a lot of people going to bed stuffed. Let's talk about one of my favorite methods of preparing pizza. This is baking pizza in a covered grill. One of the things I enjoy doing when I go camping, and not everybody can do this, it all depends on what type of accommodations you have. I like bringing my patio charcoal grill to camp with me. It's one of those stand-up grills. It's kind of big. It's a charcoal grill. It's not a gas grill. But it's got a lid on it. It's one of those big barrel-type grills. And I know I've posted some pictures on social media, and you've seen them before. But I do have the ability to haul that into camp wherever I go. I can either put it in my pickup truck or I can put it in the pull-along trailer that I generally bring with me. So not everybody can do that. But there are some small tabletop grills with a lid that'll work just as well. Here's another great method of preparing pizza. First of all, fire up your charcoal grill. Get those coals nice and hot. Once that is done, and you can generally find out what the temperature is inside your grill by the little thermometer that's on the front. Most grills do have those, and you can see what kind of temperatures you're working with. But inside the top of my lid, I do have a separate tray in there that doesn't make contact with the grill where you're going to otherwise be cooking, say, like steaks or ribs or anything like that. But there's a shelf on the inside, and I will utilize that shelf for baking my pizza. Once your charcoal grill is fired up, you want to go ahead and coat a large pizza pan with cooking spray. If you don't have a cooking pan or a pizza pan, you can buy them at your local department store. They're only a couple bucks. You may even find them in the grocery store too. But you want to go ahead and put your crust down, add your toppings, and for me, like I say, it's cheese and pepperoni. And you want to wrap the pan and the pizza in aluminum foil. Folks, this is very, very important, and I'll tell you why. When your pizza comes out of your grill or your grill oven, however you want, whatever you want to call it, you do not want the aroma and taste of charcoal in your pizza. So you're going to want to wrap that pizza up with aluminum foil, cover it up, and put it in the upper rack of the charcoal grill. Close the lid and let it cook for, say maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Check it periodically, and if it looks like the cheese is melted on that pizza, you're good to go. Bring it on out and enjoy. Add some hot peppers or some salt and pepper or your favorite beverage, and you've got a pizza that is just absolutely mouth-watering. Let's look at another method for preparing pizza, and this is a simple method too, folks. If you don't want to go through the trouble of having the big pans and the big crusts and all the other things that it takes to prepare a pizza at camp, consider some English muffin-style pizzas. Now, they're very quick and easy to make. All you have to do is bring in the packages of English muffins, slice them in half, and put them inside of a pan. Make sure you put the cooking spray in, first of all, coat the bottom of the pan, and very simply add your pizza sauce and your mozzarella cheese. Put it on an open flame, place a lid on top, and check it periodically. As long as you've got the bottom of the pan coated with cooking spray, you can very easily move the English muffins around, and this way they won't be burning or sticking or anything like that, and cook them to perfection. If you by chance have one of those neat little Coleman ovens that they're kind of like stovetop ovens, you've seen them before, you can cook your English muffin pizzas right in there. Tastes just as good. And you want to make sure that you bring enough for everybody. Again, you're going to have appetites. When you're talking pizza, you know there's going to be folks coming back for more and more each and every time, and you don't want to disappoint everybody. So make sure that you have all of your ingredients ahead of time. Plan very carefully. It's so very important. Just like when you're planning to put together your entire menu for your camping trip. Consider everybody in your camping party. You know how much spaghetti you're going to be making. You need to know how much pizza ingredients that you need to bring to the campsite. So it's all about having a good time. It's about eating well, and it's about having this specialty pizza on a pizza night at your campsite. Maybe you haven't done it before. Maybe it's about time you do. I know I'm planning on cooking pizza at my campsite when I go over to Georgia Stone Mountain Park. And I'll have to post some pictures on the website as well as social media when that happens. And I'll show you just how I cook my pizza to perfection at the campsite. It's all about making pizza, and that's what we're talking about today here on the Happy Camper Radio Show. It's time now for our featured campground of the week. Yep. Oh, yeah. This week, we take you to the state of Tennessee to Cage's Bend Campground, part of Old Hickory Lake, run by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Folks, this is a beautiful camping destination you may want to consider if you happen to be traveling through the state of Tennessee anytime this year. The campground is open all the way through Monday, October the 12th, 2015. Cage's Bend Campground is located on the shores of Old Hickory Lake, offering campers and day-use picnickers the opportunity to enjoy activities with a beautiful scenic backdrop. The Old Hickory Lake is a 22,500-acre reservoir located just northeast of the Nashville metropolitan area. So many things to see and do there. Swimming and sailing are popular ways to enjoy the lake, and anglers can find exceptional bank and boating fishing for crappie, catfish, and bass. Take a look at some of the activities and amenities that they do have available on their website. It's a beautiful destination. And again, folks, if you haven't already made a reservation at recreation.gov, you may want to consider now to be the time to sign up for a free account. When you go to their website, just look for the little gray box in the upper right-hand corner. It says sign in or sign up. It makes your reservation process go a whole lot smoother anytime you go camping at a recreation.gov site. Check out the map, and I think they have a total of 42 sites available with water and electric at each individual site. Look on their website. It's very, very pet-friendly, too. And some of the things you need to know before you go: campsites must be reserved. There are no walk-ins. So again, this will be a great opportunity for you to make your reservation through recreation.gov. Also, don't move firewood. Protect your forest from tree-killing pests by buying your firewood locally and burning it on the campsite. It's a great destination for you this coming summer. It's Camp Bend, Tennessee, and it is our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show. And, of course, if you have a campground that you would like for us to feature on the program, get in touch with me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at happycamperradio.com, and we'll make sure that we feature it as one of our featured campground sites in one of our future shows. That's about all the time I have. I hope I made you hungry today. Pizza at camp. Yes, it's a specialty. You never know. It may turn out to be a traditional campground food one of these days. You keep cooking it up enough, we keep talking it up enough, you just never know what's going to happen. Hey, don't forget, you can catch us online anytime at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Camp Talker, add us to circles on Google+, and now subscribe to our brand new YouTube channel. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper, and no question about it, my friends, we are going to make a happy camper out of you. Catch you next week. This is Happy Camper Radio.